never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, y'all, we're here, we're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and you know what you got to do. You got to like this video, you got to share this video, and you got to go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Go do that now. That's the most important part. Go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Hit the little red bell. That way you know when content's coming out. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to look for it. It'll be there when you get ready to watch it. All right, y'all, we got a great show coming up. Got a young man I've been looking forward to talking to. But before we get to him, let's promote these coming podcasts, and we're going to get this show kicked off.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase a bag. I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. Going down, I'll give up everything. Daunting thought, if I could see my dreams, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I realize. Don't let go, don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I realize.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen no many ones that I saw they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
All right, y'all, you seen it right there. Got a lot of cool podcasts coming up. You seen I added the Dark King, Chris Styles. He'll be on at the 1st of September. I've got a few more September shows I'm going to add soon. Guys, I just want to let everybody know that I appreciate everybody that tunes into us, watches our content, likes it, shares it, subscribes to my channel. We're getting close to the end of the year. We're midway. I'm saying end of the year. Look, I'm fixing to start slowing down on podcasts through the end of the year. I want to say I'm at 186 podcasts, maybe 187. I don't know for sure. when I hit 200, right over 200, we're going to take a little break for a couple of months, man. I feel like it's time for me to go away. You know what Cornette says, I can't miss you if you don't go away. I feel like it's time for me to go away a little bit, recharge, get ready for a whole new year in 2026 of Buster Unmasked. I'm going to come back with a brand new intro song. Hopefully I've got the whole new intro video and everything. I appreciate everybody, y'all. And look, before I get my guest on, I want to send a shout out to White Lightning. Osceola, Arkansas, man. One of the mainstays of MCW. Look, White Lightning, he had a stroke a few days ago. He's in the hospital. I want everybody out there to say a silent prayer and send it out for White Lightning, man. We want Lightning to kick out and come back. We don't want to see him go this early. It's not time. I want to send my prayers out to the family, Lightning itself, all family and friends. Let's push for Lightning to come out of this thing better than ever, y'all. All right, you know what time it is. Before I get my guest on, we got Mark McGee. He says, looking forward to a great show as always. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the support. Chance said it's going to be a great show. I appreciate that, Chance. He says, Buster never disappoints. Two of my biggest supporters right here, Mark McGee and Chance. These two guys push my content. They help me promote it. Two great guys. I don't know what I'd do without them, but it's time. Let me just say this. My guest tonight, he's been wrestling for 4 years, and I met him about a year ago. I met this young man a year ago, and he was called Apex Prime. So the first time I seen this young man, tall, probably 6'2", maybe 6'3", probably about 200 and at that time I want to say, and this is a guesstimation, probably about 265 or 70 pounds. Little pudgy, still a little baby face, a little baby fat on him, man. In a year's time, this young man has come so far, so fast. He graduated the JPWA Wrestling Academy. Any of y'all know, that's Dr. Tom Pritchard. You cannot ask for a better trainer than Dr. Tom. This young man came back from Dr. Tom's in phenomenal shape, a new attitude, and a brand new name and persona. Like I said, when I met him, he was Apex Prime. Today, he is officially the Mountaintop. And I bring you Austin Everest. Austin.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, dude?
Oh, nothing. Just excited to be here.
Man, I'm glad you're here, dude. I've been looking forward to this one ever since we booked it. Man, look, here's the thing. Phenomenal in a year's time, dude, and we're going to really get into it, but I just want to tell you something. From the first time I saw you to the last time I saw you last Saturday, man, physically phenomenal change, mentally. I feel like you've grown so much over the past year, man. I feel like you kind of, you're starting to really understand the wrestling business. Man, your character, your clothes, all that, and you've worked at so many places in this past year, dude. Before we take everybody all the way back, talk to me about this past year, man. I feel like your career has took a upward trajectory over the past year.
Yeah, the past year it started kind of rough mentally because I kind of was lost there for a second, and I didn't know personally if I was going to continue this, but I'm happy to be here now where I am. I am the Mountaintop, and I believe that, and I'm going to be at the top of the mountain for sure. But this whole year, I've just been fighting and wrestling myself to get better, and going to Tom Pritchard's and getting to have an amazing class that I did have, I think really helped me just as a person and as a wrestler. So I've had a really good year.
Wrestling's here's the thing. People see the physicality. Obviously, it's tough physically, but truthfully, I feel like wrestling's tougher mentally. You got to be mentally tough in this business because this business will kick you down. It will try to push you down, and you got to keep getting up no matter what it does to you. So look, before we go back, I want to ask you something. what was going on with you mentally where you thought maybe it was time to leave this alone, man? What was going on in your head, dude?
Well, honestly, I was at one company where I started when I was 16. I trained at this one company until I was, I think, 18, getting ready to be 19. And I'd wrestled there, and like, it was a good environment. And then I started branching out, and we kind of started like colliding ideas, and kind of lost communication with them. And I wish them well. I do. I hope they do good. But I'm on doing my own thing. And for a while there, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I've always thought about school. So for a while there, I was kind of drifting.
Right.
But I was still working. And I went to Tom's, and it really put me back on the track that I want to be on. Honestly, a track that leads me higher to where I ever thought I could go in a year. So,
right. Like I said, I've seen a tremendous amount of improvement since the first day I met you. Look, Vertical's with us. He says, yes, sir, it's the mountaintop. Also says, since the JPWA, man, I knew you were gonna own this business one way or another. So proud of you, man. So
thank you. Yeah.
Here's something else before we go back, man. Support system, like Vertical here. You've got a good support system. Your mom, your dad, your family really supports what you're doing, and that helps so much. It's so much help for a young wrestler, because a lot of times you're young when you first break in and you're by yourself. You know, there's nobody really supporting you, man. You're just kind of like a ship without a rudder. You're going from place to place, trying to find a home. But when you've got a good home support from your family and stuff, it kind of changes the whole game. It makes it so much easier all the way around, because a lot of times wrestlers' family, the first thing they say is laugh. Get a real job. You know what I mean? You know, that's a dream, and it is a dream. But dreams do come true. We've seen it happen time and time again. The people who dreams don't come true for are the people who give up on their dreams. And I'm so glad you didn't give up on your dream, man, a year ago. Because I've been there. I've been frustrated with wrestling and thought, man, I'm just done with it. It's not worth my time. It's more trouble than it's worth. I mean, and you get burnt out, but I'm so glad you stuck with it. And Dr. Tom, man. So talk to me a little bit about going from you're starting out, your first training, to then stepping into the JPWA Wrestling Academy. Talk to me. Was it a shock to your system?
Yeah, in a way. I knew it was going to be tough, and I knew we'd do drills, and it would be more wrestling training than I've ever done. And it was really good. In those the first half of it, it was kind of like I was battling outside of the school with issues with some people, but eventually got past that. And then after that, I started just shooting up. But
Right.
This training I loved, and it was a shock, but I think it was the shock that I needed because I loved it.
And now go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, the shock was like, it was like a thrill ride for me because I wanted more of it. You know, I wanted it to be tougher so I could get better.
Right. And the thing about this ain't like this was something you done once a week. You went up there and had to stay, right? And you guys trained. How many times a week did you guys actually train? Was it a 4, 5, 6 day a week thing? What was it?
It was 5 days a week for 3 months back to back. So we would have the weekends off, but I think it was like maybe the third weekend I started, with Tom's permission, of course, I started wrestling for Smoky Mountain Pro, which School Morton. And I started doing just shows outside of that. And I got to do my first show with JCP, NWA JCP, during those weekends off. So I really wouldn't have. And there'd be weekends where I'd do something Saturday and I'd immediately turn around the next morning, go to school Morton.
Right.
So I try to get as much wrestling as I could in.
Well, I'll be honest with you. When you're training or wrestling, especially, most of the places don't wrestle 5 days a week anymore. Period. Anywhere, even WWE, AEW, these guys just don't do it like that anymore. But when you're training 5 days a week for 3 months, man, let me ask you this: you had spent roughly three and a half years before going to this camp. I feel like, man, every day, 5 days a week for 3.5 months, I feel like that you probably learned more in those 3 months than you probably had the whole time since the day you started. The whole time you've been in the wrestling business, I feel like you probably learned more, got in better. I could tell you were getting in shape just because you used to do send the little Facebook Live things out. And I told my wife, I said, hey, that boy is getting in shape. Look at him. I said, that a lot of that skin is disappearing. And man, when you first actually got back and I seen you live, I thought, man, that's what 3 months of training 5 days a week will do for you. The greatest diet plan in history, dude.
Absolutely, yeah. I love right now I'm just wrestling every weekend, but I really want to find a place where I can wrestle during the week because me and Tom talked about it. I asked, hey, how do I get better as fast as I can? And it's not like I want it like snap my fingers. I know I have to work for it, and it's going to take a while until I can get to like the top levels. But I will get to the top level. But he was like, well, nowadays, they wrestle every day almost, they'd be on the roads about more than half the year.
Yeah, in his day, sometimes they wrestled 7 days a week, and if you were doing TV in more than one place, you might wrestle 9, 10 times, 11 times in a 7-day week. You just never knew.
Yeah, and like I heard that, and I was like, I need to get as much wrestling as I can in because I know where I want to be, and I want to get there. I want to get there right.
Well, that kind of segues us to where I like to jump around, and we're fixing to go back in time. But work ethic. Here's my thought. The first time I seen you, I thought, good-looking kid, big kid, good size. Like I said, little flabby, little baby fat still on him. But the one question I didn't know was how hungry you were and how bad you really wanted to be a wrestler. And man, you have impressed me so much since that first day, because that's the thing. You can't just dream about this. You can't just want it to happen. You got to go out there and put the time in. And I've seen that you are willing to go out there and be, quite frankly, work your ass off to make this thing happen, dude. And I love that about you. I gained so much respect for you just from that aspect. I seen your work ethic. So now let's take it back. Take me all the way back and talk to me about where you were born and your upbringing. And talk, like I said, you've got a strong family unit there. So talk to me a little bit about when you were born and your upbringing, your raising. If you did any sports in high school, take me through the gamut of it, man.
Yeah, I was born in, I think it was West Plains, Missouri, but I live in Willow Springs now. And I've lived there for my whole life, honestly. And I just really didn't do much sports when I was younger. I did a little bit of football in like middle school, I think. I started when I was young, but I realized I didn't want to do that. So I was very not athletic at all. I was a couch potato. Yeah.
Right.
But I I think the only reason I work out as good as I do now, I started when I was 12, and it really was just a joke. I said to my dad, he was doing CrossFit. And I joked to him one day when we were coming back home, I was like, I would do that CrossFit with you. And then he started being serious about it, and I was like, oh, I guess I gotta do this for my whole summer. So I worked out since I was 12. And then when I got to the last year of my middle school, I got back into the school athletics, and I joined football. And my whole life during school, they always wanted me to do football. And I'm not much of a sports fan. I just liked wrestling. I loved wrestling. And I was like, football? Who plays football? Everyone loves wrestling.
Right.
But, yeah. So they just begged me to do it. And one day I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go try it out, see what happens. And I liked it. I did it until my last year of middle school to my second to third year of high school. And I honestly did quit because I got a concussion. I was like off. I had to not lift weights or work out in any way for a week. I was like, no, I was training at that point. I was like, this is not how I want to spend my time. I want to go wrestle. I don't want to be getting hurt in something I don't love.
Right. For me, it's about the passion. That's passionate. Pro wrestling is a passion project. You've got to really have the passion for it. But I guess if you want to be an NFL star, you got to have the passion for football. I guess it's anything like that. If you want to make it to the highest level, you got to have a passion for it. When you got that passion, it makes training's not training when you love something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't look at it like, oh shit, I got to go train. You look at it like, oh man, I'm getting to train today. We're getting in the ring. We're going to be doing some stuff. And that's a big thing. When did you actually discover pro wrestling, dude, and how? Who turned you on to pro wrestling, man?
Well, my whole life, my whole family liked pro wrestling, but the first memory of pro wrestling I had was when Randy Orton got thrown down a flight of stairs by Wade Barrett, and I was like, I gotta be that guy, I have to do that.
You got to be Wade Barrett or you got to be Randy Orton. Which one you want to be?
Randy Orton. I gotta be thrown down the flight of stairs. I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. And I started watching it from there, and I'd watch WrestleMania, the Miami one with The Rock and Cena. That one, the once in a lifetime match. And I watched the whole thing. And I was like, this is good. And like, that was my era. I like that era for me. But like, what really turned me on to training, I met Kane at a indie show, and a year later I started training with the same company. So it was pretty good, and I stayed with them until my 3 years, and then I went to Pritchard's.
Right. So here's the thing. I feel like I know the answer because, like I said, you got a huge support system with your family. What did mom and dad say when you let it out? Hey, I want to do this. I want to give this a shot. What did they say to you?
Honestly, they were like, okay, well, we believe you can do this. And like, I talked about it all the time. They're like, okay, you really want to do this? We believe you. We know you can do it. And like, they never really said, you can't do this. Like, that's not a job.
Right.
And they've always been supportive. There's been few that's like, went like, you can't do that. You, a wrestler? Because like, I feel like when people look at me, they can tell I mean it. Like, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And like, I had a teacher in high school, and we were doing job, I don't know what we were doing. Something like we had to pick our future jobs. And I told her, I want to be a professional wrestler. She's like, you can't pick that as a job. So I ended up I fought her on it. I was like, I'm going to be a wrestler. I'm going to do it. I had to put down a mechanic, which I'm not good with cars really, but
so basically, you can't have no choice. You gotta make it as a wrestler because you ain't gonna make it as a mechanic, huh?
Oh yeah, no, mechanics not in my tool set there. But like a year later, after we had that whole lesson, next school year comes around, Halloween, we had a wrestling show come to our town, and I was in it. So I had some tickets. I went to her class, gave her a ticket, said, bring whoever you want, but you're coming. And after the show, I had a match, and then I had some other stuff, but I ended up hurting my ankle. But I wrestled my butt off for this. Like, I went balls to the wall for this whole event.
Right.
And after the match, I seen them at the door. We're just taking pictures, and she was like, you know, I was foolish. You're right. You can do this. So, like, that's my feel good moment.
That's what I was going to say. That had to be a feel good moment, man. I had a principal. Of course, he never discouraged me, honestly. When I was in high school, and I dropped out in the 10th grade because I was going to follow this dream, and I followed it as far as it took me. You know what I mean? But but he never discouraged me. Man, he'd pull me aside and talk to me, and he actually knew about wrestling. So he'd start naming off wrestlers: Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Jerry Lawler, and is saying that, hey, go look at these guys. Most of these guys went to college. Most of these guys have an education beyond just pro wrestling. He was trying to keep me in school, basically. Great principal. His name was Bagley. Great principal. Always encouraged me, but he always used that kind of, hey, go research these guys. These guys all have educations. They all graduated high school. They all had some sort of college degrees or something. This ain't something you want to have something to fall back on. So you were talking about like real school earlier. Now you still going to school, right?
No, I graduated about a year ago, so I'm freshly out of high school.
Okay, but you're going to do any college or anything? You're going to take any college courses or anything?
No, my college was wrestling, and I'm gonna go do something else with wrestling. But I thought about stuff I could do out of it, and I just can't think of anything right now. But when I find it, I'll act on it. But right now, I'm gung ho on wrestling, like 100%.
Dude, I understand that, and I'm fixing to be my principal for a second. Listen to me. Wrestling, even at the best, man, hopefully you get super rich and you don't have to work after wrestling. But especially nowadays, you get 50 years old, your wrestling career is going to start petering off no matter what. And a lot of times guys ain't ready to just sit at home, especially after wrestling. They need something to do. Man, when you figure out what it is, go get you an education. That way you know if wrestling does not work out, you got something to fall back on. I wish I would have. Hindsight's 2020. Everybody told me the same thing. I was too hard-headed to see that, but it's the honest truth. Find you something that you love doing besides wrestling that you can go get a degree in. That way, if wrestling does work out, more power to you. You know, but if it don't, you got something to fall back on, because it sucks to only know wrestling. Let me tell you this, when you go to fill out a job application and every bit of it's just wrestling stuff, no real jobs, nobody's hiring you, man. If you ain't got some kind of degree, nobody's hiring you. They look at you, they love it though. They'll sit there and talk to you for 2 hours in an interview and never call you back because you ain't got no work here. Just the flip side of the coin there, man. Go find you something to do, get you a degree, man. That way you can make money no matter what happens with wrestling. So look, talk to me about the first day you actually trained. Not JPWA, the very first day you trained, the very first day you got to step in a wrestling ring, do some stuff, take some bumps. Talk to me about it.
The first day at JPWA, we feel like our class moved on really fast because like we first got there and we were doing lockup drills outside of the ring.
Right.
And we were just doing that, just grappling, hammer locks and all that. But that first day we also got in the ring and started doing stuff too. I don't know how many other classes that. I'm not saying none's done it, but I'm saying we are one of those who got in the ring the first day. So,
right. If you're going through those lockup drills and stuff, and they can see it, everybody's really catching on. Yeah, you can get in the ring the first day like that, but everybody's kind of got to be catching on pretty fast. Absolutely. So if that was the case, you guys must have been doing good.
Oh yeah, and we had a good class. Like everyone, like everyone watched it and everyone knew an idea of it. We're all fans at heart. We're all marks for it. So like we knew a little bit of it, but I think we did pretty good the first day.
Right.
But
So let's
sorry.
go back further. No, you're good, Austin. Let's go back past JPW. Very first bump you took, man. You've got this impression. You want to be a wrestler. You want to try this. Go from that to actually stepping in a wrestling ring and taking some bumps and hitting the ropes. Talk to me about that. How was that very first time you hit the ropes and that very first time you actually took a bump in the ring?
All right, so I show up to this guy's house and he's got just a main event and Miss Hyde there. And I'm getting ready to train, do some stuff for the first time. They're going to see what I have. I've never done it. I'm 16. I'm a little shy. I don't talk much. So I'm kind of, and there's a picture of me. It's on Facebook somewhere. And like, I just stone cold face, I was chubbier and I was just stone cold face in the corner, just listening. Like, it was great. I love that picture, but I took a bump and I think this is the sick part of my brain. I was like, ooh, I like that.
There you go.
And
you gotta love bumping. You gotta love bumping if you're gonna be a pro wrestler, man. That's one of the things I loved the most was bumping, man. And if you don't love bumping, you need to go and find something else to do. You need to go and take that college degree and put it to use, man. If you don't like to bump, dude. So,
absolutely.
Did you have any issues bumping? Like some guys have issues tucking their chin. Me, I had an issue letting my heels clack against the mat. And man, you don't realize it don't hurt while you're doing it. But time you drive 8 hours home and you go to get out of the car and you go to stand up, you done stone bruised your heels. So it feels like your heels are about to come off when you pull your shoe off. But some guys, it's tucking the chin. Did you have any issues with either one?
I didn't have.
All right, Austin. I don't know if you can hear me. You froze up on me. Austin, if you can hear me, dude, I'm going to pull you down and try to log you back in. Hey.
Hey.
All right, we're back. Good deal. You froze up on me for a second. So, any issues banging your head on the mat or your feet, your heels? All right, Austin, we're froze again. Give me just a second. Let me pull you down again and put you back in. All right. Now I ain't getting no picture on him. Austin, if you can hear me. All right, you're back.
We're good.
Yeah,
all
you're
right.
good.
Sorry, the Wi-Fi is a little wonky right now.
Dude, it's anytime you're dealing with the internet, man, anything can happen, man. So,
yeah.
Any issues with banging your head or clacking your heels, man, on the mat?
Not much the head. I was pretty good on that, and then the heels, it was an issue, but it started to be, and then I fixed it. Because I remember it was like one move. I think it was, I don't know, the hip toss was messed.
All right, y'all, we're freezing up again.
But
yeah, I lost you again for a minute. I had to pull you down, put you back in. So maybe it's the question, Austin. Maybe we skip on by the tucking the chin and the clacking the heels. So let's talk about hitting the ropes, man. Maybe the internet will like hitting the ropes better than bumping, dude. So talk to me about hitting the ropes. How was that for you? And were y'all using steel cables or ropes? All right, y'all. You can see we having issues today. All right, Austin. Did you hear anything I said?
Yeah, the ropes, hitting the ropes. So I was hitting the ropes, and the building was pretty close to it. So eventually, when I got used to it, like I bruised up the first day pretty bad. But I got Yeah, but I got so good at them. I feel like I can run them pretty fast. I ain't saying like I'm the speediest, but I can move pretty good on them. I would hit them so hard that I would hit the building wall like flat back, and
Right.
I'd do it every time. So
And
it
I'm
was
assuming the way it sounded, you were broke in on cables, not real ropes, right? Steel cables.
yep, cables. Yep.
Yeah, those things are, man. When you first start hitting ropes, man, they're unforgiving. They'll tear your back up. You'll end up at home after the first day of training, wake up the next morning, and you can see the rope marks all the way bruised into your back, all the way across, man. Uh, Let me pull you down again, Austin. Well, damn. There we go. All right.
This thing is not liking us today.
Oh man, it's just like that. It could be busy. Being Sunday afternoon, it could be busy. Everybody could be on the internet. So look,
Yeah.
we're gonna jump ahead past the ropes and stuff. Hopefully, we can get this thing back on track and get the internet to cooperate with us. Look,
Absolutely.
in a year, the year's time I met you, man. I just want to go over some of the. I got to read them off my phone because there's so many. Some of the places you have worked in your four years of wrestling: Bluff City Wrestling, American Hostile, which is where I first laid eyes on you, American Championship Wrestling, Tri-State Wrestling, Arkansas Wrestling Alliance, Crossroads Wrestling, School of Morton, already NWA JCP and NWA Crossfire, Southern Pride Championship Wrestling, 100 Wrestling. You recently debuted at Out of Control Wrestling and Net Pro Studios LLC. So here's the thing. I got to know Net Pro Studios LLC. Talk to me about that one a little bit first.
So that one was fun. I wrestled there because during the time we were doing the Wrestling for the Kingdom seminar, which is a wrestling and Christian seminar, and it was the first time I'd done it, and I did it while I was going to school with Tom Pritchard's going to his school, and I spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday doing this seminar, and I had a 6-man tag. And that's the only time I've wrestled for Net Pro, but I really enjoyed it, and I'd go back.
Where are they based out of?
Newport, Tennessee.
Newport, Tennessee. Okay. All right. So look, already in your young career, and this is just recently over this past year since really the JPWA training. Talk to me about NWA JCP because I seen you and Bullwhip Ballard. Now you guys are all buddy. Y'all in the same dynasty. Y'all in Grandma's dynasty. But at this point, you two guys had to face each other. Talk to me about NWA JCP and talk to me about how it was getting the call and getting to go up there and work, man.
It was good. The first time I wrestled, it was actually I wrestled Carson Drake for the NWA Television Championship.
Oh, wow. I hadn't seen that one.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was during school. I still had Apex Prime gear, but I had a different name. So, but I wrestled him for the title. I didn't win, but I wrestled him for the title, and that's more than I thought I would. So I appreciated that. But the next time, me and Bullwhip, money can make friends. I can tell you that at Grandma's Dynasty.
Well, Grandma and Money Mark's 1%ers, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But it was NWAJCP. I had to come up and show out. I didn't care if it was Bullwhip or Carson Drake again. I was dead set on winning.
Man, I actually I do watch Power, but I watch JCP more than that. That's the NWA show I seem to watch the most for some reason. I just like the atmosphere of it, and the time where you and Bullwhip wrestled each other. y'all were in this cool, man. It was an outside environment, but there was like, it was, what was it, a bar setting pretty much? Because there was all around you guys, there were like pavilions where people were and stuff, but the ring was still outside in the open.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was like a square courtyard kind of, and had the pavilions and the tables underneath. It was NWA Beer Market Brawl.
Beer Market Brawl, there you go.
Yeah, and we had wrestled, and it was a cool. I loved where we were. I thought it was cool arena, and like it was pretty cool. First outside show. No, felt like a WrestleMania. You know, you had the whole building around.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, every match feels like WrestleMania, man. Every match.
Oh
dude.
yeah. Hey, if it was a longer match and I didn't have any rules, I would have jumped off the roof, but I didn't have the rules.
So talk to me about going there and working. Talk to me about how you fit in the dressing room, how the guys kind of accepted you. The one good thing, you and Bullwhip, y'all knew each other. Y'all were there together at the same time, so you kind of at least knew you wasn't by yourself 100%. But talk to me about NWA JCP as a whole in general, man. How you like working there?
The locker room was great. They were very like after the Carson Drake match, I came back and I started getting undressed, and I knew some people from the school there, but I started talking to the like vets in the locker room, and like they were giving me tips and tricks on like how they do their stuff and like how they see this as a business and how they do this, and they were just helping me out, and the locker room was very accepting and very helpful. They were all nice, you know. There was like, because you'll get some stories about how some people aren't nice or like kind of assholes, and there was none of that. There's none of that there. It's a good locker room, good atmosphere. Now I love to go back.
Yeah, man, that's good when you find a place that the established guys want to help the new guys coming in. You can't beat that, man. Just soak it up, dude. Sit down in a chair. Mouth closed, ears open. It's kind of the old saying. Just listen to what's going on. You'll learn more just sitting around listening to other people's conversations than you'll ever believe you would, man. Here's the thing, man, that y'all don't do it no more like it used to, but riding in cars with guys from show to show, from night to night, man, you learn so much. You learn so much about the wrestling business itself. Maybe not per se in-ring work, but just the nuts and bolts of the wrestling business, man.
Yeah. I don't get to do that much because where I come from to the shows, I don't really have a way to go pick someone up and do it.
Right.
But in Tennessee, I did. Me and a couple of the boys went to TAP in Tennessee, I think. And it was a good car ride because we just bounced ideas off each other. And I think it's really where I got the mountaintop idea, because before that I was going to be like, I was going to call myself top tier. I was like, I had gear drawn up for it, and I seen it the other day. I was laughing. I was like, that was not me.
Man, I'll tell you what, I love the new gear. I love the yellow. I love the yellow with the trench coat, dude. It looks good on you. It fits you. And here's the thing. It gets you noticed. It draws people's eyes to you. The second you come out, people want to look at you. That yellow draws your eyes, the trench coat. And you're a big guy, too. And here's the thing. It's the age of superheroes. Me and another guy had a conversation about baby faces. That I feel like you're a natural baby face. I feel like, honestly, you're a 100% natural baby face. You've got the baby face look, your persona, the way you act, the way you talk, just who you are in real life. I feel like you could, like, awesome baby face, but this guy feels like, no, you're an awesome heel and gonna be an awesome heel. What do you like, man? Where would you like to fall? What do you want to be?
I want to be top of the mountain. Honestly, I can be nice, and I can be nice and mean, and I can just be straight mean. It just depends on if you want to step on my toes and how I'm feeling that day. Like, sorry,
I want
what?
to see that. No, no, I want to see that mean streak, man. I want to see that mean streak in Austin Everest, man.
It happened. Just AHCW. A lot of guys will piss me off, and I've been mean there. So,
Well, let's talk about AHCW for a minute. That's the first place I laid eyes on you at. How did you come to work for AHCW?
I Miss Hyde and Justin Main Event was going, and they brought me along, and me and Money Mark kind of got talking behind the scenes, and I started wrestling. And I actually did 3 shows. No, I did 3 matches that night. So I think I did a good impression because they gave me 3 matches. So,
Well, you since the first day I saw you, but I mean you had been babyface until you come back from JPWA, and that's when I started seeing the cockiness, the confidence. Your confidence had changed, and I don't mean that in a wrestling sense. I mean that in real life. I could tell
oh,
before you went there, you didn't have the same confidence you did once you came back. I could tell you were more confident in your ability out in the ring.
oh yeah, absolutely. I probably a little more cocky than I should be, but I the mountaintop. It's just not a phrase. I'm in my head. I'm like at the top of my game than I was a year ago, and I'm gonna keep getting better. And I'm at the top right now. I feel like I am, and I feel like when people look at me, they get the sense that I'm about number 1.
So let's talk about Apex Prime. Chance is with us. He says, to bar from the Savage Brotherhood, what he's saying is FAAFO. So talk to me about an Apex Prime, dude. Because I from day one I wondered how you came up with that, man. Talk to me. Give me the origins of Apex Prime, man.
Apex Prime. Well, I got that from the where I was training, but the premise behind it was the Apex and Prime 1, so you're at the top.
Right.
And like, I appreciated the name. I appreciate the time I had under that name, but the way it was sold to me as a character was a little hard for me to understand, and I did not pull it off right. And like when I would do promo class at JPWA, I couldn't do it, like, because I would like raise my voice, puff my chest out like I was Optimus Prime, you know.
Right.
Like I was trying to be this hero, and really I'm not really a hero. I'm just me. That's like I'm just me now. Like I'm a smartass at heart, and
You
I'll
know,
be that.
well, when you explained it there, how you got the name, it sounds like a heel. It sounds like Apex Prime would be a heel, but the very first day in American Hostile, when the people seen Apex Prime, they took to you, man. You got cheered instantly. Have you always had that reaction from the fans? Do the fans, since the day you started, seem to always want to cheer for you?
No, the first wrestling match I had, I was Everest Law Apex Prime. So
That's a lot of name, man. Hey, that don't pass the WrestleMania name test, dude. I'll be honest with
no,
you.
that is too much, honestly. Sure, it became Apex Prime after that, but I was dressed up as a cop, and
Oh,
yeah, and they hated me, but like I won my first match. They're booing me. I'm getting ready to leave, and one dude yells out. Well, before the match, he yells, "Cops suck." All right, do the match. I win. I'm walking out. The guy yells again. I know it's the same guy. He's like, "Well, cops still suck." Yeah, but I won.
So how long, when did the people kind of start cheering you? When did you notice that people seem to like you, want to cheer you, man? Because, I mean, the fans kind of usually determine. We can try to steer them in certain directions, but sometimes they're bound and determined somebody's going to be whatever they want them to be. And so when did you notice that these fans want to cheer you, man? There was something about you that they seemed to like.
I think it was really when I started to show myself through the character. Like I would,
Right.
like I think the very first time like I got over, you know, was at the AHCW, and they liked me. And I think that's just because when I come out of that curtain, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Like I will give you that battle cry. I'll yell. I'll kind of hit the chest a little bit. I'm off to that ring. Like, I don't care who it is. Someone is becoming a landslide of embarrassment, you know?
That's Vertical said it, man. Landslides of embarrassment, man.
Exactly.
So I feel like you're really starting to. I feel like with Austin Everest, you're really starting to evolve into kind of being a lot of yourself, man. That's the best. That's when you. That's the most famous, successful pro wrestlers are pretty much who they are, dialed up. And I feel like, man, that your Apex Prime was just a vehicle, a stepping stone to get you to Austin Everest, man.
Exactly, yeah. And honestly, my whole life I've been so quiet, and I've kind of been locked up. You know, I don't like to show my personal life at all. I'm getting into like wrestling is where I show that. Like I put all my energy into that. So I feel like I'm really getting it now.
So look, man, let's talk about School of Morton. Now, I know now they've had a name change, but at this time when you went there, it was still School of Morton. Talk to me about what it was like going to the School of Morton, man, in wrestling.
That was cool. Their name changed now is Smoky Mountain Pro, but it's School of Morton when I went there. And our first day there, me and two of my buddies were going. The Prince Gabriel and Isaiah Miles. We were headed down there. We were going to watch the show, you know, support some of our buddies. And they needed some more wrestlers. So me and the Prince got to do it. And I started wrestling for him every other weekend after that. And I felt like I got good matches up there. Like I wrestled a lot of good ones up there, but I enjoyed my time there. I had fun there. The locker room was great. Just TKO and KC Kazana, you know, all the Kazanas were there. It was a good locker room.
What about Ricky Morton? Did you get to spend any time with Ricky himself?
I did not. He was not there when I was there.
He's all over the country now. For the last couple of years, man, it's like the Rock and Roll Express and Kerry Morton. It's like they've had a resurgence, man. You know, they're all over the place.
Yeah, they were busy when I was there.
So, Bluff City Wrestling, you've worked there. Arkansas Wrestling Alliance, you've worked there. Talk to me about Crossroads Wrestling, one of the UWA affiliates. Talk to me about how you liked Crossroads Wrestling, man.
I loved Crossroads. It was great. It was. I've only went there once, and it was a match against the Kang superstar, Johnny Dotson, and it was a good match. I learned stuff from it. I try to learn stuff from every match I do, but it was a good locker room. I enjoyed it. It was great.
So talk to me about getting in the ring with the Kang superstar himself, best pound per pound, ounce for ounce, Austin Everest. I know y'all look like Mutt and Jeff in the ring because when the face-off, what was Johnny doing? Looking at your tits, man. But the the dude's an old school veteran. He's been there and done that, seen it all. Talk to me about the matchup you guys had. Did you learn anything from Johnny?
Yeah, I did learn. I learned a lot from Johnny. He's very helpful, and the match itself was very teachable because like there was stuff in the match I look back on. I'm like, okay, I wouldn't do that again because that's just not how I should do things. And I enjoyed it because like when I wrestled Johnny, and I think it was like the second, third time I wrestled him, I learned a little bit of something every time. So I enjoy wrestling Johnny Dawson.
Right. Here's the thing, young guys. I mean, even though you've been in the business 4 years, you're still relatively young in the business.
Yeah.
Young guys get in a hurry, and that's the key thing is to get in there and someone take you in there and learn how to teach you how to settle down a little bit and how to slow things down enough where the fans can absorb everything that you actually do. And I feel like that's something Johnny's real good at, pacing the match to where the fans understand and they can follow what's going on. Because if you lose your fans, you've lost the match. You know, if it get to the point where they don't understand what's happening, I mean, I don't care how good the match has been up to that point, you've lost it. You've lost the match once you lose the fans.
I agree. There's a point where you could do too much and they can get lost. And I feel like right now that's really what I'm trying to focus on right now, listening and hearing what I'm getting off of them, like who they like and what they like to cheer and what gets over with them.
Right.
And the pacing works. Because I was listening to the podcast with AJ Styles on it, and he was talking about he doesn't do as many flips as he used to because he's learned to – it's not about the wrestling as much as it is about the moments.
Right.
Like, don't go out there and have a crappy match, but the moments are what gets over. Because, like, people – there's always, like, a moment that comes to my mind when I think of wrestling is CM Punk was wrestling Chris Jericho for the WWE title. And I don't remember the match, all of it. I don't remember all of it, but I remember the moment where Chris Jericho suplexed Punk's on the outside to the floor from the ring apron. And that's always stuck with me. And like that's what catches my eyes is the moments. Like how do you make those?
Yeah, it's definitely, man. Like you said, people don't remember entire matches. They remember moments out of matches, out of angles. Look, in 1983, the first time I ever went to the Coliseum, I'm 9 years old. So I'm 9 years old. Coliseum's completely packed so much that it took us 2 hours, like out on the road, out from the Coliseum to actually get in the Coliseum. When we got there, my brother and his wife let me and her brother off at the door, and we went on in without them. He's like 14, I'm like 9. Coliseum is turned away packed but all I remember, man, it was Jay Lawler versus Bill Dundee. If I'm thinking right, it was a loser leave town, and there's this spot where Lawler's down and he's feeding up, and Bill Dundee hits the 3-point stance and chop blocks him. Lawler takes the bump over Dundee's back. So they build it up again, man. Lawler works his way back to his feet. Second time, Dundee does the exact same thing. Chop blocks Lawler. Lawler takes a beautiful rolling bump over Dundee's back. The crowd is just with these guys in unison. Everything they do. All of a sudden, Dundee sets up for that third one. As he charges in, Lawler hits him with an uppercut. The minute Lawler hit this dude with an uppercut, every single person in the Coliseum in unison, oh! I mean, I've never seen... That was the first time I ever realized how you could have somebody in the palm of your hands. I'd never seen that many people in unison have the same emotional response to something. And Dundee, he don't just take a quick bump. Lawler hits him with that uppercut. Dundee comes up and he's kind of tipping over and he's doing this. And then the fans are like just roaring. And when he finally hits the mat bumps, they just explode. And that right there was the day I knew that I had to be a pro wrestler, dude. But it was that moment. I can't tell you nothing else that happened in that match other than that spot. Period. But it was that moment that I realized, man, how much power it is that you can have just putting people in the palm of your hand and building things slowly. Don't rush it too much. Build everything slow. I've never seen anybody react like that, man, and it stuck with me to this day. It's probably the greatest moment I think ever in pro wrestling for me. For me personally, it's the moment that I'll never forget. I've never seen that many people react in unison. It was so packed, we couldn't even find a seat. Me and my cousin, he really wasn't my cousin, it was my brother's wife's brother. So whatever that makes us, we found one seat on each side of a dude at the very top of the Coliseum smoking a joint. We're little kids. That was it. He's in the middle of us. We get one seat on each side of him at the very top. But we were walking up when this happened. We were coming from the concession stand, and I was down on the floor. And, man, everything stopped when Lawler hit Dundee with that uppercut. Time stopped for a second. And those moments, man, that's what wrestling really is about, man. You can do all the moves in the world. You can have 5-star matches. But it's creating things that touch people forever, that they remember, man.
Absolutely. That's the moments is really what sticks with people, you know? It's not 5-star matches through and through. It's the moments.
So look, man, you've done a lot of seminars too. Why don't you take me through and tell us some of the different people you went to their seminars and talk to us about some of the things you learned at these seminars, man.
Yeah, I've done a few, and I really took a lot from the one we were talking about earlier, the Wrestling for the Kingdom, which they'll do it again soon next year. I forget what the dates was, but if Les Thatcher's there, Matt Sigmund, and they just have an incredible cast of trainers there. And they cover the wrestling, but they cover the part where they help you get closer to the Lord, and they give you a good message. And I love that part of it too, and it was good. And I learned a lot from that. And I had done a Crossfire seminar with the Page sisters, and I enjoyed it because I got a lot from that too. And I took time, thanked them, and talked to them a little more about it. And I got a lot from that. But one thing that I really got was I did a School Morton seminar with Santino Marella, and Aaron Stevens was there.
Right.
And he was going over promos, and one thing that really stuck with me was how wrestling is there's 3 stages. It's someone will turn it on for the background noise, and then you'll have you'll catch their attention, and then they're invested. So that's how I see things. I started viewing wrestling different after he said this.
Right.
I try to think of those 3 stages. During my matches, how do I get them from background noise to interested to invested? And
that's what investment. That's what you got to do. The fans need to make some kind of an emotional connection with you.
Yeah, and honestly, it's just not the match too. It's if you go out there to sell merch or just interact with them, if they invest into you, then you will have a following. You'll grow a following, and that's basically how you evolve into these higher opportunities. And I try to work on that a lot. I use that rule with everything that I see. So,
right, and obviously Santino and Aaron Stevens. Aaron Stevens, for people who don't know, Damian Sandow in WWE, The Miz is stunt double. These are 2 guys that both of their WWE's careers were. They got over by entertaining. It wasn't. Aaron's a hell of a wrestler, man, and he's one of the last guys to come from the territories almost, because he was part of the original Ohio Valley, maybe. Oh, I think it's Ohio Valley class, one of the originals. You know, he's been around a long time. He's worked all these little towns and stuff. He's been in the car 4 or 5 days a week working shows, going from place to place. Santino too. And both of them highly entertaining, man. Highly entertaining guys. What about some of the other seminars you've done? Who else have you done that you really took something away from it that you use now?
Like I said, the Crossfire seminar, they liked how I worked because they said I had like an old school Missouri style, like I forgot what they said exactly, but it was like they liked how I worked. I worked Missouri, and they liked how I was big, you know, because I'm a big guy. You know, I'm not going to be doing these flips and like I'm not going to be moving around fast, but I try to move big. I try to stay big, but I try to move too because I can move pretty fast.
Right.
And they liked that, and I built on that after that. And like the Wrestling for the Kingdom, Les Thatcher, he's brilliant. He's
legend.
Yes, he's up there with Dr. Tom for sure.
Right.
I got a lot from them, you know.
I'm not so sure Thatcher might not have been the original developmental company. I may be wrong about that, but I'm not not so sure that Les Thatcher might have been the first WWE developmental company territory. You'd have to fact check me on that. If he wasn't the very first, he was one of the first. I do know that much.
Yeah, he was telling us some of the, like Damian Priest, I think he's helped with. Like he's Damian Priest right now is like top of his game. You know, he's like on there every week, and he's got a good story.
Right.
So like his resume, like Tom, pretty impressive.
Right. Right. So look, talk to me, man. You've wrestled a lot of people now. Talk to me about your favorite opponent, man. Who do you feel like that you get in the ring and you like working with the most? You have the best matches with.
I feel like I wrestle good with Bullwhip because I feel like we wrestle about the same, but we're not too similar. We can have a good match, and we've wrestled a lot. I love wrestling him, and Donovan Cecil, he's from OVW.
Yes, big guy.
One match with him. I loved that match. That's one of my top 5s. I believe that. I've been told that. But
yeah, he's a big guy. What do they call him? The Mammoth.
Oh yeah, the Mammoth. He picked me up and F5'd me, and I've never been picked up like that, nor thrown in the air. So like I'm in the air, falling, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is high." It was
like a big giant missile, huh? Just hurtled through the air, man.
Oh, I was up there.
You worked him at AHCW, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought about that. So look, man, there's a lot of things out there now. You're getting some work with the NWA. I know you there's some opportunities coming up for you that we can't really discuss right now. But this WWE ID thing is out here. Is that something you kind of got your eye on, man?
Yeah, I have my eye on that, and just that is the end goal for sure. Because like I grew up watching it. I love WWE. I think right now, they have a lot of people right now, and they're gonna have a lot of people for now. I'm gonna take my time getting there, but when I get there, I will work as hard as I can to be number one. But right now, I want to search around. I want to go do NWA. I want to go to Japan for sure. I want to hit that circuit. I want to try to hit all 50 states and just go to the best places I can, get as much knowledge as I can, build myself up. And I want to take my time to wherever I land up, like AEW, WWE, I want to be top of my game. And I want to get better when I get there.
Right, patience, man, And here's the thing: polish.
Yeah.
Look, when WWE goes to looking at you, you want to be ready. You want to be as polished as you possibly can. I think getting a shot and going to Japan would be awesome for you. I think that would really be great because I think that's gonna they're a lot more Americanized now than they used to be, but they
Yeah.
still their base is in ring competition. So you go to Japan, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like the JPWA training camp all over again. You're gonna go in there and work long matches, real matches where you're having to chain wrestle, take a lot of bumps, do a lot. I'd love to see you get a shot in Japan, man.
Absolutely. I'd love to do it. I can't wait to do it. If I get the opportunity, I'm going. I'm there.
I think they've got a camp in California. They've got a JPWA, not JPWA. What is it?
It's the New Japan.
New Japan. There it is. New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think they've got a dojo in California. Big Buck Skinner. I don't know if you know who that is. He's been around here, wrestles for APW a lot. He goes off right now and does New Japan in California, and I seen that Insane Dane, another guy from around our area, is now also up in the New Japan dojo working out and stuff and training. So, man, that could be the door that you open to maybe get you over in Japan, is maybe try to find a way in the New Japan dojo in California.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look into that.
Oh man, they have some. Now I've heard the camp is rough. It's one of those they don't just work you out in the ring. You're doing hack squats. You're running. They're trying to blow you up and break you down to see if you're willing to got the heart for it. But I believe you do, man. Here's the thing. I would have just on first impressions. The first time I saw you, I never thought you would have buckled down as like I've seen you buckle down with the JPWA and stuff, and just the taking it so serious. Your physique, your look, your clothes, your gear. I think you got all that, man. I think your work ethic is there. I think you just got to get those doors kicked open a little bit so you can get in, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you saying that, and I agree. I'm working hard behind the scenes to figure out where to go and just knock them doors down, and I'm working hard on my body because it's an investment, no one wants to see what I was before on TV weekly,
Right.
They don't, that's not their perspective of a superstar or a wrestler. And I understand that. So I'm forming my body every day to get to that point,
Well, here's the thing. It's what you look like gets you noticed before they actually see your work. Most of the time they see a picture of you or see you on tape or run across you somewhere. Maybe they're at a show scouting and they see you come out of the dressing room. If your look grabs them, then they're going to pay attention to what you do in the ring. Where if your look don't grab them, they're not going to care. They might pay attention. They might be over here doing something else. But if you get them visually and you get them eyes on you and you look like something, they're going to pay attention to how you work in the ring.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. You got any dream matches out there that you want to have with anybody?
Yeah, I got a lot. I want to have a match with Matt Cardona at some point. That would be awesome. One of my faves from growing up.
Right.
And just the NWA World Champion right now, Tom Latimer. Is that how you say it? Yeah. That would be awesome.
They tell me I screw it up every time. I call him Latimer. I call him Latimer, but some people put that emphasis on it, Latimer, and man, I'm a Southern boy. You Latimer to me, man. You know what I mean?
I hear, yeah. I'm horrible with names, but Tom Latimer, and I'd love to wrestle Carson Drake again. There's just right now I have probably everyone that's at the top right now I want to wrestle. I got a lot of time ahead of me. I hope, and I just want to wrestle as many people as I can.
Right. So let me ask you this: we're at an hour and 15 minutes. It's flew by already. We're gonna start winding down. But where would you like to see Austin Everest? Let's just say a year from now. Let's say this time 2026. Where would you like to see yourself at from where you are now? What kind of advancements would you like to see, man?
I want to see my my in ring work. I want to see that advanced. I want to see my performance, like quickness and strength. I want to improve that, my look, and I want to work as hard as I can to get in with OVW and NWA and
Right.
try to hit on that New Japan scene a little bit. I want to try to be everywhere and anywhere I can be, you know? I want
Right.
people's eyes on me. That's what I want in a year.
That's the goal, man. You want the attention on you. You want people to take notice. Here's the thing. In this business, there's people that's got the connections and the power to put you places that may already have had a little eye on you that you don't know about. So you want to keep doing what you're doing, working hard, perfecting your craft, perfecting your character, your persona, your look, and your in-ring wrestling ability. Because you never know, there could be guys already with their eyes on you. They're just waiting for you to develop to where they need you to be at.
Absolutely, yeah. And can't wait to develop to that point.
It just takes time. You just have patience, man. Don't get frustrated. You're gonna get frustrated with the wrestling business. You just gotta just push through it. You know, just push through it. When you get frustrated with it and you feel like, man, I'm sick of this, just push through it because the sun will shine on the other side of it, man.
Absolutely. I was watching some Matt Cardona seminar stuff, and it was really good because he's talking about like when it gets hard, just don't quit.
Right.
Because normally that's when the stuff starts to happen.
Yeah, he's right about that 100%. Look, man, you're working a lot. We're going to start closing it out. You got any upcoming shows you want to promote, man?
Yeah, I got some shows coming up right now, and I got July 26th. That's Wild Card Wrestling, and I got a Facebook, Austin Everest, Instagram. I got a Twitter. I just got that really. Go check them out. I post all this on there. July 26th, I'll be wrestling for Wild Card Wrestling. And August 1st, AHCW, Rumble on the River.
6. 6. Don't forget 6. Now, Rumble on the River 6.
Yeah,
Rumble on the River. Money Mark will be docking your pay, man, if you don't get that 6 in, dude.
Yeah, Rumble on the River 6, August 1st. Me and Austin Bolo for the title. You know, he came out one night, offered me a qualifier match. I took it. I won. So I'm going for his title, and I'm going to win it August 1st. And August 2nd, I'll be in Lafayette, Tennessee for Southern Pride Championship Wrestling. And you should come on out there. Anyone in Tennessee, come to Lafayette. It's a good time there. I wrestled there at my graduation show. And I'm very grateful and happy to be back. And August 9th, Out of Control Wrestling. Got a qualifier match for the King of OCW. If I win it, I go on to August 26th. Or August 16th, excuse me. But come on out. All these shows I'll be at. Check my Facebook. You know, and if you want a shirt, I have a Pro Wrestling Tees store. So go get you some Austin Everest merch.
You got your stuff together, man. You got your stuff together. You got it all, man.
Oh,
that's
that's
the one thing I can say, man. You seem to be prepared. You always seem to be prepared, dude.
You know, prepare for everything. Prepare for the worst, and if the worst don't come, you're prepared. So,
Austin, man, it has been my pleasure. I'm gonna go on and send the invite out now. A year from now, somewhere close to a year from now, I want to bring you back on, and we can see how your career has advanced from today, dude.
Absolutely, I'll mark it down on the calendar. You know, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Me too. Yeah, hell, we never know. You liable to be in the big time by then. I'm liable not to be able to get in touch with you, man. You never know.
I'm gonna be all gas and no brakes for it. I'll tell you that.
There you go, man. Thank you so much for coming on, giving us your time, man. I appreciate it. If it wasn't for you guys, there wouldn't be a podcast. So I can't thank all you guys and girls enough for coming on. And man, I have thoroughly enjoyed it, dude.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been fun. I appreciate the chance to get on here.
Yes, sir. Hey, you have a great night, and tell your family, your mom and dad, I said have a great night also.
I'll do it. You have a great night.
All right, man. Take it easy.
You too. See ya.
All right, guys, right there, the mountaintop, Austin Everest. Go check this young man out. You might see NWA, JCP, NWA, Crossfire. There's no telling. American Hostile. There's no telling where you're going to see him. He's going to be at OCW coming up soon. Go check this young man out. He's well worth the price of admission alone. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in, interacting with us. I'll be back Wednesday with the 901 Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Kevin Bless. I've been looking forward to that one. That's going to be one heck of a podcast. You know what I got to do? I got to promote these upcoming podcasts again, and then I'll let y'all get out of here.
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head, constantly thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase a bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. Slowly down, I'll give up everything. If I could see my dreams, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I wanna reality. Don't let go, don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I wanna reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always destined for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
All right, y'all, you know what you got to do. You got to like this video, share this video, go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. That way you know when content's coming out. All right, guys, when I hit 200, I'm going away for a while. So I don't know when that's going to be. It ain't going to be long, but I feel like it's time for me to disappear for a little bit. And I'm back right now. I'll be back this Wednesday, 7 p.m. as always, with the 901 Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, Kevin Bless. Do not miss it. I want to once again thank Austin Everest for coming on and giving us his time. I want to thank each and every one of you guys and girls who tuned in or interacted with us. Everybody who supports Buster H.R. Johnson and Buster Unmasked. I appreciate it so much. Until Wednesday night, y'all take it easy.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.